creditors, assignment for benefit of creditors. And Marty Pitchinson, all he is, he's a legend, by the way. All he is that Christine Lagarde woman, because all he does is asymmetric deals, but he doesn't go into countries, okay? He goes into companies that imploded for no reason because two of the YC kids decided they wanted to go to Stanford Business School and the other one wanted to go to Harvard, and then now it's kaput. So then Marty comes in, okay, and he's like, he's literally having a field day. Now, what Yasin was talking about, they've got an asymmetric trade too, don't they? Do you want to go over their asymmetric trade? Do you want to go over that's great. Do you want to go over Silicon Valley Bank's asymmetric trade with you for the people that don't see the other side of the trade? The other side of the trade for Silicon Valley Bank is it's socialist at the top. And that's what Princes of the Yen and Confessions of a Hitman does. Okay, so there's an asset grab to try to force a liquidity event for a guy like Andrew. But Andrew's so close, but he's not quite getting how he's going to get squeezed because of he's at 98 or 99% comprehension, where when the liquidity squeeze comes, there's a flight to the reserve currency. And it's unfortunately right now, it's not silver, right? And I love silver. Bobby, you're an investor, okay? You're already long the dollar. In certain circles, that's Hey, yes, and you were saying something and you cut out. What Bobby was talking about, to catch everybody else up in the room, from what Bobby said 20 minutes ago, which is great, is the fact that this is actually a time of a bull market, and it seems so counter to what other people are saying, but this is a format of American financial spring, where in America, there's not a lot of financial literacy. There's not a lot of awareness of how even a short works. And what Andrew was so close to getting at, because silver, it's actually not a great store of value. And when I asked him, Andrew, to replicate what Michael Saylor's doing, and then Bobby totally demoralized him with 2 words, just like, Jesus saves, Bobby said, buy Bitcoin. And then Andrew didn't throw up all over it, but you can see that he's not quite there, and then he's going to get burned on the Australian dollar, thinking that that's the reserve after America, and it's just not. Hey, when you say dry powder, can you talk about how that's liquidity? Because I haven't used gunpowder, okay, since Chinese people invented it in 1300.
Enter to Bluetooth. Bluetooth connected.
And Bobby, real quick, just clarification, just because it's the second time you mentioned it. When you say U.S. household wealth is at an all-time high, are you talking about the average or the
yes?
I am
talking about the average. Yes. So like,
I
was actually trying to pull up the graph of this, but like, yes, if you look at like average household savings, there's a lot of money right now.
I don't know, guys, about you, but is the average counting the billionaires? Because if they are counting the billionaires, of course the average is going to be high. If you talk about the median,
it is an average, yes.
Yeah. If you talk about the median, I don't think the median is high, because most of the U.S. citizens are in debt.
I think things are a lot better than your intuition might read, if that makes sense. I know that sounds off, but I truly believe that.
You guys are both right. You guys are both right, and you're also disconnecting, but that's okay.
Steven, you wanted to say something, Armin?
No, just listening.
So to switch gears for a second, I guess slightly related to the markets here, but you know, a little bit tangential. What do you all think are going to be investment trends in 2021 that we haven't yet addressed? Obviously, you know, Main Street activism we've seen with the GameStop and AMC. Bitcoin is on the tip of people's tongues, but what are people not talking about that you guys are curious about? And yeah, I mean, I'm happy to go first just because I'm posing the question. But to me, one thing that's really interesting, just in the education and training space, is just a proliferation of creator turned teacher, tutor, coaches that I think we're seeing. A lot of people, I think, are going to be leaving secondary and tertiary education institutions and finding they can make more money on their own. So I'm sort of looking at that space for early stage in terms of direct to consumer or direct to user apps with coaches, teachers, tutors, etc. But I'm curious, Larry, Bobby, what are you guys looking at?
Yeah, I think I think my biggest trend right now is the reopening economy. It's like what has been sort of bottled up over the last year that's about to get unleashed. And so a lot of the bets that we've made have been sort of trying to, as they say, skate to where the puck is going. So, we just invested in a WeWork competitor, which I know people laugh about WeWork, but I actually think there are all the conditions are correct for a business like WeWork to work, and actually it's maybe a business that isn't WeWork to work, if that makes sense. In other words, like,
So you're saying WeWork without the fraud?
Everything except the horrible management and the horrible investors. So yeah, we just made that bet.
It's absolutely high growth, high inflation. Keep going, Bobby. No, I totally agree, because also, who's the Shanghainese dude who's in Shanghai that talks about how that's your worst competitor. It's not that's the best case scenario for a bull run. And where America's at, and I'd love for Australian people to chime in. If you've got a question in the audience, it's the bottom right-hand button with the hand. Where America's at is where I used to be at on a basketball team of 5 people. 4 people would be better than me, but I would score the most. And I need to be on that team where I score the most as a 5th best player, because that's my sweet spot. I'm not the best player on your team being a team player, and that's what America is. It's not team playing, okay, but it's going to score a ton. And Australia, that's going to be the dude who's the power forward. All they do is play D. All they do is take abuse. Yeah, they get the ring, but they kind of get abused, and they definitely don't profit the most. That's the dollar milkshake theory summed up using a sports analogy. But Bobby, when the White House, okay, called Robinhood to shut down American Movie Corporation, it's one big cluster F of 6 dudes in Australia or 6 dudes in I have CS Major. There's CS Major video. Go, Bobby, go. The adults being back in charge is bad. That's a. The adults, okay? Okay. I love that phrase. The adults are back in charge. Because this is the exact phrase that VCs use when they fire us founders to say, hey, move aside. The adults are now in charge. Hedge funds are going. And that's what's great, because we can now benefit by being inside. So Wall Street Bets is basically being penalized by everybody that was the adults as being a decentralized hedge fund. Go. I saw it, but recap for everybody the Chamath interview on CNBC. First, who's Chamath? Explain the whole thing because it's critical. Bobby, catch everybody up. Who's Chamath for people that don't know? And CNBC, some people barely know. So go. Talk about how he fully undressed Scott during the CNBC interview. Hold on. Let's stay on. No. It's not like that. It's not like that. Yes. Go. And Joel. And don't forget Joel. See, that's what happens when you're in an insider room trying to oversell. Go though. Go. We're interrupting you. Go. Okay, so we never oversell because you're gonna just get blasted. But also Chamath, he's in on like Bitcoin for $1 billion at 210. Go, 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 go. No more gossiping. This is also going to circle back to the adults in charge. This is going to circle back to the adults in charge. But we're interrupting Haug. Go.